We're almost there. Come a mile down this semi-paved road, mostly dirt. It's very bumpy. Still got 3 more miles. Look at this view.
The War Eagle mine was particularly productive from 1906 to 1928, and again from 1940 to 1957 during the World War II era. The War Eagle mine was a significant source of lead, zinc, and silver. You guys, you see this? You see that? He said it goes down to about 750 feet, but maxes out at 1,000 feet underground. It is very, very beautiful up here. Quiet. You don't hear very much. No road noise. No neighbors. Just a few that are here today. And the mine. We're going in that.
When the Anaconda Company came up in World War II, they reopened this mine. They didn't reopen Noonday, but they reopened this one in Columbia. And the lead ores they were pulling out of here were pretty extensive, so they kept working it as long as the government was buying. And by the late 40s, they were having problems with the main shaft just not being big enough or safe enough to keep working. There's some caving ground on here that's always been giving them some problems. So they came out here and they drove this portal in here in 1950 to 1951, straight back about a quarter of a mile, through the hillside and hit the mine on the 690 level. I mean, the jointer is so smooth you can't even tell. I mean, that was some pretty good work with no computers, just pencil, paper, slide rope, bang, straight in. So we're going to walk back into that section, join up on the mine on the 690 level, see some of the workings back there. It's much larger because the bigger machinery involved. This whole pile you're standing here, this is just 7 years of production waste. So all this wood was put up 1950 and 51. You won't see a whole lot of timber going back in, which is good. They only timber a mine where they have to. So most of the rock is solid, homogeneous, noonday dolomite, and no need for timbering. But of course, when you get into the portal, it's a little more brittle, and there's a couple spots back inside you'll see woodwork. But otherwise, no wood is a good thing.
Yeah. Ooh. That's just a little sparrow.
So Anaconda was nice enough to leave us with a framework for this beautiful air door, and we made a security gate out of it.
Nice.
Because the trespass was off the chain, and this mine was probably the center for most of that. You could drive right up to it, just like you did. Then we brassed out using a nice old original Anaconda check tag. Wow. So we're now in the mine.
This represents
Back
our
in the old days,
group.
every miner would check in and check out with a numbered tag, so the supervisor could look at the board and know who was in the mine and who wasn't. So this particular haulage we're in now, this actually is a tunnel that does connect the outside to the mine. This was no ore extraction in here, this was pure access. So you won't see any mineralization in the walls here. But you will see nice big open space in there. There's the bigger machinery coming through. Come back in, remember the whole point of this haulage tunnel is just to get to the mine to bring ore out. But they hit this fault line, they saw that quartz vein, so they ran back in there, they ran over this way here. Each one of them back in a couple hundred yards, and then they faced out, so they didn't find what they were looking for. And we don't go back into these sections because they're off the ventilation flow. Right now we've got really nice air currents that move in through the mine, but air, like water, tends to follow the path of least resistance, so it doesn't go back in a lot of these areas, so we don't need it. It's kind of stuffy. We do inspection once a year or so. And you can see this clear fault line going out. So we've got a different rock strata down here.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little crumbular, and it's kind of an upthrust into the dolomite above. So this area here is fragile and brittle, so they had to timber it. And if you look at the back sides of the timber, you will see where there's a lot of rocks embedded in them, just on this side here, because they were putting these up contemporaneous to the blasting. So they blast, muck, put up a timber set, drill, blast, muck, put up a timber set. So these timbers on this side, it's like moss on a tree, and they're catching the fragments of the blasting that's going on 8-10 feet away and throwing those fragments back into the wood. Watch your step on the tracks. It is one of many trip hazards in this mine.
That's pretty cool. I wasn't expecting to see any tracks today.
The looters didn't get it all. There's a lot more back in here. This stuff's heavy and hard to get out of here.
Right,
so.
right.
And usually when a company pulls a track out, they pull from the face back and they use their equipment to move it out. Looters are stupid. They work from the portal in, and each successive link is harder and harder to move because they got to take it further. Which is why this stuff is still here. Eventually they gave up. I mean, they were still trying. They were actively doing the west portal when I got out here. Here's the end of the War Eagle's workings. You can see the old War Eagle, the TCM track here, the 18 gauge stuff. That would have been put down probably back in the 1920s by Tecopa Consolidated Mining, the first company to run these pits. And when Anaconda came through, that's too small for their stuff, so they just replaced it with this newer 20 gauge or 24 gauge. But that's where their workings ended. On the other side of that, back for about 100 feet at the most, there is a section of workings that go back to the main shaft. And it looks like they were starting to go back and connect up, and they stopped here. We're going to open that up once I get a proper survey and figure some way to get the drills back in here. And we're going to blast that down and open that up because there's some caving ground up ahead that we want to bypass, and that would do it. I think that's kind of what they were doing too. Cool. But so we'll do some new blasting in here, open that section up, and it'll take us around the ground that I do expect to see come down one of these days. But looking up, we're starting into the mineral bed. We got our iron oxides up here, little fine bits of galena up in here. We'll see better stuff back, so I'll hold that off until we get back in here. We have a chute/connecting raise with the 790 level below us, and we have a big stope up here behind us. And we'll discuss each of these in turn. So this is the 690 level because it's 690 feet below the main shaft on the outside of on the other side of the hill. The 790 is below us, 100 feet down. Below that, the 890, the 990, all the way down to about 1250. So we have the 5 working levels below us. Yeah, that one ladder section you see is like the first ladder I ever built when I first got here, and I matched it to the spec of the old ladder, and I didn't know what I was doing, so I didn't realize Home Depot was not as good as that old stuff they were using. So now we use better ones like the one over here, which is going to replace that one, and we're going to have, this will be our escape point from the lower level, and we will take people on tours down there. It is on the current adventure tour list, but we don't bring anybody out from there now. We're working on 2 other exits from the 790, so we'd be able to take people down there.
Again, guys, they'll only put wood where it's needed.
Now we got a stope down here. We're in a different rock strata. No timbers, nothing down. Huge unsupported sections all the way down to the 790. Wow. You got a little at the bend there, but that's, yeah. Now, who likes horror movies? One more getaway. So it's Halloween. We got our costumes. We're going to this abandoned haunted mine. You can guess what happens next. So they came in here, and it was actually filmed in large part on location in here with permission of the last owners. So I see sections I recognize, aside from the really poor, videography. If you watch the movie, it's on Amazon Prime for like $4, hour 36 minutes. I'll never get back. But if you see the ending, please explain it to me because I didn't get it. I watched it. I don't get that. What did I just watch? But there were parts of the mine that I saw, including some areas that I needed to repair then, and some I still need to repair now. But they actually left a rope here because the heroes rappelled down on a rope into this section here, and then bad things happened. And I think the rope that I removed here was the original movie company rope.
Oh, movie prop.
How far back does that go?
It goes back in and then down to the 790 level below us. We will take you up there on the adventure tour. We'll climb up that rope. And by the time you really start to hate life, you come in one of the coolest sections of the mine up there. Because it's been remote enough that a lot of the vandals and troublemakers have never gotten up there. We came in down here. We are now here.
Oh, wow.
We got these levels below us here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the sump down there, and then we've got these levels above us here. You go further back down the drift, and you'll come into these other sections back here, including a connector to the Grant extension, which brings you out by the triangle head frame on the other side over there, and a connecting raise to the Noonday that we just reladdered a couple of years ago. So now you can get up into the Noonday mine and go all the way up, 600 feet up the Noonday shaft, and then out that way. So. Yeah, this shaft goes down to those 5 levels I just showed you on the map. You got that walkway over there, which we're going to build in the Columbia shaft. Each level has a drawbridge, so the cars can either get off on the level or continue going down. This one I'm on right here, the drawbridge is up, so the cars can go down. That one over there, the bridge is down, so you can see the cars roll up onto that level. There are 2 ore cars down there. Unfortunately, one of them was shoved down there by idiots, and it jumped the track and destroyed itself and took out some section of the mine. But fortunately, the mine shaft was built pretty strong and it survived. So we're going to try to recover the other car and drag it up here and put it on display back here. And the hoist room, which was our museum up here now. So we've got a few artifacts and other things back here. Originally, there was a big hoisting engine back here. The way it worked was the electric hoist would pull the cars up out of there, and they'd switch them back here onto the exit track, and the locomotives would take them out. So some of our other artifacts and things that we brought back in here before we get the museum set up properly. So there's a jackleg drill for horizontal drilling. The blue and beyond is a stoper drill for vertical drilling. We've got a rock hammer there for a sinker for going down. The drill or the saw over here looks like a basic skill saw, only it's powered by compressed air. It's a pneumatic saw. Everything in the ground is powered by compressed air. So we got a lot of cool stuff down here.
Yeah.
And this is actually a big space. It's not as reflective as some of the smaller spots, but
Wow.
you can actually see pretty good. You look around, especially.
Yeah, once you get used to it, I could see
Your eyes
it
will adjust
probably.
pretty good. So this is how the original miners were working back in here. Of course, everybody had a candy, met a few more folks. But again, this space here was more modern, so this was done with carbide lamp. But your old miners have been working like this, coming up, identifying where they want to, the ore they want to go into, drilling, setting their dynamite in, doing all that wonderful stuff, building the timber sets. Anything these guys had to do underground was buy candles like this.
Wow.
Who wants this job?
Yeah.
It's called earning your $2 a day the hard way.
Yeah.
You will see over here, again, that's all the way down to the 790 again. The big gallery down there. Accessible via the main shaft back there.
I believe they did this
And we
by
have an old-
hand back in the day.
Yeah, because when you gotta go, you gotta go. Here's a mine toilet. This mine actually had one. It was here.
That's what that is? That's a
water
toilet?
pipe going over. Yeah, that's a fill that tank at the bottom. They'd pump it out. Do not look in the tank. You don't want to see it. But, yeah, nice drop down to the 790 down there. You can see some nice mineral in there. There has been a fall down on this side over here, so we call that area mostly stable. We do take people down in there. In fact, we'll be opening that up for more comprehensive adventure tours in the near future.
Thank you.
Do not fall. Oh, no, that's slick. I've gone down on my ass a couple times in that section. So.
It's pretty loose.
Let's go to that piece of that line and we'll screw it up.
Dang. Yeah. Wow is an understatement.
Right?
That is really cool though. Looks like it curves off over there to the right.
These guys will stay down here all day.
I know, man. Have lunch down here.
Yep.
Jesus.
Do you remember calling it that?
Look, you can. Either that's a beam or that just the ladders keep going.
I don't know. Now that's one heck of a.
There's like no way up too.
Yeah.
So this big stope here, and again, that goes down to the 790. That's 100 feet below us there. It's that wood structure behind you, just down there. So just as that whole area there was cleared out up to the 500, this is cleared out down to the 790. And then below that is cleared out down to the 890. Lather, rinse, repeat. This whole side of the mountain, everything is just missing inside. And you can see, no timbers, one rock support. I mean, this whole place is self-supporting.
Huh? Wow.
Beautiful, solid, stable. Some nice galena right up in here that, I'd like to pick at one of these days, but I don't want to try to get off that edge. So it'll stay there. And we're going to run, the rest of that ladder is going to come up a route up here so we can safely get in and out of the 790 this way as well. Jeez. A lot of mining.
Yeah.
And if you looked at behind me or back to my left over this way, it goes back for another 1.5 miles into the mountain that way. About a mile back is a connecting raise into the Noonday mine. About midway is a connecting raise up to the Grand Extension. So we've got plenty of ways in and out. We're actually out because they're all gated from the outside, but we can get out. So.
Finally, guys, the light at the end of the tunnel.
This is pretty cool, man. Thanks for inviting me out here.
You just found that while they were digging
Just
over
found
there,
that making room for the new solar panels. Regal Ale company was in progress, in business 1930s through the 1950s.
Oh, wow.
She's pulling up the information on it right now because Pat is wonderful for that sort of stuff.
Very awesome. Very cool.
And that's how artifacts happen out here.
Yeah.
I used to go to the Regal Amber Brewing Company.
That is really cool. That's crazy. It lasted all this time.
And then we dig it up with a backhoe, with a Chinese backhoe, put solar panels in.
Just dug it up right now.
Yeah.
I guess I just said that the mine has a lot of stuff to share with us when it's ready to.
Right.
Wow.
That is crazy.
It goes down 120 feet. There's a room at the bottom that connects to a drift on the 140 level. And we'll take you back into the Columbia mine proper. If you know the route, you get all the way down to 1,000 feet where there's still cars in the tracks and stuff.
That's crazy.
When we got here, this was the one big collapsing hole. It's 20 feet of fill, so you can see where the ladder takes that bend is where the original ground level was, a couple stalls down. And it had all been cribbed with railroad ties as they built it up, and those all fell in. So we had to dig that out, make a new shaft collar for 20 feet, backfill around it. While we put the ladder in, we had to clear the whole shaft out. And got the bottom cleaned out to do some blasting down there to take down some Widowmakers and clear stuff up, and then we get the bridge across. So she connects into the rest of the mine very nice. You can actually feel the breeze coming out of there right now. Pretty scant because it's about the same temperature, but it's 68 degrees down there.
Go over and stand right in front of that ladder. Looks right down.
Just watch that one spot on the floor where people fall in, right where you're at.
Yeah.
Wow. And here is the Columbia mine below us here. So.
Look, if you squat down,
We are
there,
here.
You can actually see it way down there.
Wow.
First level and all the way down. Our next big repair underground is we're working on a vertical shaft between the 265 and the 465 where we're going to be hanging on ropes and rebuilding walls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, fun.
Wow.
But these guys do it.
Yeah.
I stay out the way and say, you need anything? Bottle of water? I get
Yep. All right, Ross, thank you so much for having me out, sir.
Thanks for coming out. I hope you had a good time. I enjoyed having you out.
Yeah, thank you so much. If somebody wants to book a tour with you, how would they get a hold of you?
Well, they can reach me by email, tecopamines@gmail.com, all one word, TECOPAMINES @gmail.com. or by phone at 703-919-5077, or on our pages, of course, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon if you really like us, all under Tecopa Mines, because I'm a simple person with a simple name. So Tecopa Mines will take you to us on the internet, and I'd love to have any of your followers come out, especially if they're as nice as you guys were.
Perfect, cool. Well, thanks again. We will definitely be back. All right, guys. That is going to do it from the Tecopa Mines, or the... Hey, what was the name of that mine? The War something? War what? War Eagle. All right, guys. That's going to do it from the Tecopa Mines, or the War Eagle mine. Ross, very, very nice guy. Couldn't say enough good about him. That's his place way out there. If you guys can see it, that's where we were when we first pulled up. We were greeted by his dog, his security, and yeah, this was very cool. Now, before you guys decide to try to come out here, just know that the mines are locked. There's a gate. It is private property. He does own these mines, but he's making it very accessible to you guys. All you guys got to do is come up, volunteer some time. He needs a lot of help up here, and he will give you guys a tour. There's no reason to go in and sneak around. I get it if it was abandoned, of course, you know, I do the same thing too, but he said he had a lot of problems when he first bought the place with people destroying things. And that's not what I do. I go and I document things as they are. So again, private property. The mines are privately owned. He gave you guys all his information to contact him. So go subscribe to all his socials and his YouTube, and let him know I sent you. I mean, this is awesome. We had not exclusive access, but access to something that not a lot of people have access to. So thank you, Ross, if you're watching this. We appreciate you, buddy. And we will definitely be back. Thanks for watching, everybody. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe. It's absolutely free.